fourth largest economy, progressing in leaps and bounds across the center of excellence on this great day. And we are propelled by nothing else except aspirations, which they say is the birth canal of ideas. Our adventure through the land flowing with inexhaustible prospects is right now on the overdrive, and nothing except our doubts and fears can stop us from reaching our destination. All right, let me use this opportunity to say happy Eid Fitr to our Muslim brothers and sisters. It is and this follows the conclusion of the 30-day Ramadan fast, and we can tell you things are going to be much better even as we forge ahead tough terrains in difficult circumstances. Welcome to Maritime Today, your twice weekly adventure through the maritime world. Of course, this program makes it possible for us to have seamless conversation woven around issues in the maritime industry, and it is aimed at ensuring that we have a robust engagement with regulators, stakeholders, and even resource persons with a bid to advancing the cause of development of this sector. It's nice to have you join us. The program is proudly brought to you by the Nigerian Shippers Council, the economic regulator of the ports. Thanks for joining me. My name is Victor Oteri. All right, then. So for some time now, we've been reflecting upon some recent trends in the maritime industry. But today, we're going to be talking about the recently reviewed haulage rates for those who are stakeholders within that sector. Now, the Nigerian Shippers Council, which is the economic regulator of the ports, recently announced an increment in haulage rates, especially for those that are navigating through the eastern ports of Nigeria. So what does this haulage rate, what does it seek to do? And what are the prospects of us having a full implementation of this? These are many more we'll be reflecting on if you can join us. But also, we'll be bringing you latest gist in the maritime world, only if you can keep it locked on your frequency of attraction, passion, fashion, and action, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. We're going to take a brief break right now. When we return, it'll be time to begin the conversation.
Nigerian Shippers Council, they to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council, they feel in a parole now for every level. And as soon as goods, they move from port A, go enter port B with a measure within on a needle. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you weller, work with you weller, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem when shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. Papa, email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Allow us on top 0818-888-8895 or 0703-584-6468. Nigerian Shippers Council with the meeting now for the port of Nanir.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Maritime Today is the program. We're very much ready for the conversation. Before then, quickly, let's take you through the last update that we've got. Most of the areas in Lagos are still very quiet right now, I can tell you. But PWD, I understand it's busy now between Ilezik and Ajayi farms. Worshippers are trooping in for the Eid prayers right now. So National down to Bolade Junction is still looking good. But of course, between Ilezik and National, where you have Ajayi farms there, so most people are trooping in there now for the Eid prayer. So take note of that. Apapa Corridor, we're still having it good in and out of the zone. Pretty good right now. Outer Wharf connecting areas like Sunrise, Capital Oil down to Coconut. Very good to go. And then first gate, second gate, also looking pretty good. Liverpool Bridge connecting Liverpool underneath the bridge is also looking good. We can tell you Marine Road in and out is also good to go. And then areas like Trevor Glaxo, inwards journey, Mr. Biggs, not bad at all. Now, the return journey from Mr. Biggs connecting Liverpool underneath the bridge is also very good. So we can tell you the Apapa corridor is still looking pretty nice right now. Okay, so you can share your own experience with us too. If your travel hasn't been very pleasant, or perhaps you see anything that you need to report on the road, please send that to our WhatsApp. That's on 08099120777. That's the WhatsApp number. Just send that report, and definitely I will pass that across to the appropriate authority. Maritime Today is the program. Right now, let's have the latest gist in the maritime world, and Dayo Anthony will be taking us through that.
Welcome to the latest news on Maritime Today. The Spanish ambassador to Nigeria, His Excellency Ambassador Juan Ignacio, has declared that the Spanish government is desirous to deepen cooperation with Nigeria through further collaboration with NIMASA. Ambassador Juan made this declaration while inspecting the 2 new bulletproof security boats built for NIMASA by Spanish company Aresa. Dr. Dayo Muberiola, the Director General of NIMASA, while responding, said deploying the vessels is a priority, while the Spanish government sees Nigeria as prime in attaining security in the Gulf of Guinea. We also have a Navy ship present in Gulf of Guinea to enhance security. The message from our president back home is for the embassy to seek more partnership with Nigeria in the maritime sector. The creation of the Maritime and Blue Economy Ministry by President Bola Tinubu is a sign that his administration is committed to harnessing the ocean potential, and Spain is ready to support Nigeria all the way. And this is why I came from Abuja to see the DG, he said. Now, on his part, the NIMASA Director General noted that management under his leadership will fast track the deployment of patrol boats as soon as possible. Now, still on the happenings on the maritime sector, the Muritala Muhammad International Airport Command of Nigeria Customs Service, NCS Ikeja, Lagos, said its officers seized sea cucumbers, donkey genitals, tramadol, and other contraband items worth 5.8 billion naira at the airport. Now, sea cucumbers are marine animals with leathery skin and elongated body. They are found on the seafloor worldwide. Now, the command's custom area controller, Muhammad Yusuf, who briefed newsmen, said the command generated a sum of 455.2 billion naira in the first quarter of the year. And he also said the amount is of higher percentage than the amount generated in the first quarter. And finally, in the news, 9 Egyptian men who were on board on migrant boats that sank off Greece last year, killing hundreds of people, are to face trial next month. The circumstances of the sinking of the Adrenia in June remains a source of disputes between the Greek authorities and groups supporting the rights of survivors and migrants. Now, survivors have accused the Greek Coast Guard of capsizing the boat. Now, however, the authorities, which monitored Adrenia for hours, said it overturned when a Coast Guard vessel was about 70 meters away, and it remains unclear what happened in the meantime between the Coast Guard being alerted to the presence of the vessel when it capsized. Now, the overcrowded fishing trawlers was carrying hundreds of migrants from Pakistan, Syria, and Egypt when it sank in international waters off the southern town of Pylos on its way from Libya to Italy. Some 104 men survived and only 82 bodies have been recovered. And that's all we have for you on Maritime News today. Now back to Maritime in full gear.
The Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency, and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline 0818-888-8895. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos. Or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
Nigerian Shippers Council, they to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council, they feel in a parole now for every level. And as soon as goods, they move from port A, go enter port B with a measure within a need. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem when shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. Papa, email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Allow us on top 0818-888-8895 or 0703-584-6468. Nigerian Shippers Council with a meeting now for the port of Nanid.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Maritime Today is the program, and we are very much set for the program. We're looking at upward review in haulage rates and matters arising for cargo shipment in Nigeria. Now, recently, the Nigerian Shippers Council disclosed its approval of negotiated and reviewed haulage rates from eastern ports to various destinations in the country. The council said the rate approval were very much in consideration of cost moderation and cargo transport issues and were acceptable to all parties, including freight forwarders and truck owners. Reactions have continued to trail the announcement as some shippers, freight forwarders, and even other stakeholders are vehemently rejecting the increment, stressing that it was ill-timed. Some other players have applauded the upward review of the haulage rate, declaring that prevailing economic circumstances made it imperative for that to be done. The Nigerian Shippers Council says the haulage rate is still subject to review and is willing to still engage with stakeholders for an amicable resolution of the issue. All right, then I have two people that are joining me this morning to, reflect on this as we talk about this. Forwarder Frank Ogunojemite is President, Association of Professional Freight Forwarders and Logistic Operators of Nigeria, AFLOM. Nice to have you in the building. Forwarder Ogunojemite, good morning.
Thanks and good morning.
All right, then, and joining him as well on the phone line, I have Forwarder Bath Okeke, who is the Secretary of the National Compliance Team for NAGAF. NAGAF, of course, is the National Association of Government-Approved Freight Forwarders. Bath Okeke, nice to have you. Good morning, too.
Nice to be here. Thank you, Victor.
Wonderful. So let's just jump in on this right away. I know this is going to like 2 weeks now since we had that announcement from the Nigerian Shippers Council, especially as it relates to these haulage rates across the country. I know some stakeholders are not very, very comfortable, but when you look at prevailing economic circumstances, it means that it is something that the council had to wade in, and I'm sure that some of you will be talking about this. So let's start with you first, Frank Ogunojemite. Why associations like yours are kicking against this move by the council?
Oh, thank you and good morning again. You said something before this that the council, they are ready to do a downward review of this. And this makes me happy.
They are ready to review and negotiate.
This makes me happy.
Okay.
Because the stand of AFLON in this case is not about the AFLON, it's about the citizens of this country. And we all know that we are trying to discongest Nigeria, Lagos ports. And those are the factors we have to look at. We have to look at the cost implications and what are the things that can be impediment to the ease of doing business. And that's the area we are telling the council to make a critical review at this. The government is trying a lot. If you could look at the thing is coming down, the price of diesel is coming down. So we want amicable and affordable rate for the people.
Right.
So that's the area I want us to look at.
All right, we'll talk about that. But what do you make of this increment? How would you describe it from the position of NAGAF?
Okay, for Victor.
Yes.
I want us to put ourselves in the position of these haulage companies. Okay?
Right.
Don't forget, we have almost the highest form or percentage of deficit infrastructure in the world, if I might say, despite our potentials. I can't be doing business and remain at a loss. I have no issues with the increment whatsoever.
Okay.
All my concern is it had to be negotiated ab initio. You just don't jump on your customers and make an increment without consultation, especially in our industry. And that has been the problem we are facing, even in the economy. Remember how the fuel subsidy was jacked off without consultation and without regard to the consequences. So, for my part, I have no business with anybody increasing his fees, but if it's in our peculiar industry, it has to be after due consultations.
All right. So, but let me just jump in at this point, because would it be fair to say there was no consultation? The Shippers Council held meetings with the different stakeholders within that zone, the Eastern Ports.
Shippers Council is a toothless bulldog. They have no control over the industry, so to say. How many times have they intervened? That is after we must have complained at the arbitrary increments and charges. Have they ever been proactive?
Okay.
I don't have any.
All right. So, but I think
it's toothless bulldog.
Right. So it will be unfair for you to say that the council is a toothless bulldog. But let me get back to Frank. Frank, the council, even before now, even before the present administration, severally, they've had interventions where they've brought in, issues to also bring down costs that relates to shippers and even freight forwarders. So, but for this particular one that you're saying, there were certain reasons. I heard the last time that we had a review of these haulage rates was in May 2022. And if you look at the current prevailing economic circumstances, so many things have changed. The forex is no longer the same. Diesel, like you mentioned, has also, jacked up from 250 to over 1,000, so to say. So many other prevailing circumstances. So, do you think it was wrong for them to have come up with this review?
What I'm saying is that I'm not saying there should have been an increment, but we have to look at the percentage, and other factors should be considered. I don't say the present expert of the council need to do a due consultation like Bart has spoken. You understand? And what we are trying to talk about is that, again, we are trying to discontinue those ports, and we need to consider a lot of things at Eastern Port.
Right.
That's right. And if you look at Eastern Port, it's comprised Delta, Calabar, Port Harcourt, and many of them are functioning. If we are trying to create a bottlenecks, we will not attract people down in that area. That's what I think we are saying. And we are saying that when you are making a decision, conduct your statistics very well. Listen to the people's opinion. But some of us have struck as well. So it's not that we against increment, but the percentage is what we are talking about. Of course, Shipper Council a lot. Okay, for instance, now there is a rumor that there's going to be an increment from the shipping of watts in Port Harcourt. What are they doing about that?
Right. Okay, so, but let's talk about the truck owners, which are very critical stakeholders here. The truck owners are not complaining. They feel, satisfied. They feel happy with this increment.
No, they do. We had a series of meetings yesterday. We had a meeting with them in Port Harcourt as I'm talking to you. So we have a lot of complaints from them as well, because we're going to suffer. The importer going to suffer. The citizens of this country is going to suffer. We have to consider the cost of bringing the stuff to this country. What are the things to factors in? Government is trying the best to provide infrastructures. We are saying, we are not saying do not increase, but proportionate. About 140% is too outrageous.
Right. In some cases, because I don't think it's a 140% blanket rate.
No, about 140%. I'm telling you the truth. You can use their own response to this. So what you said that they have agreed to do a review, and that's the area where I'm standing, and that's why, and I will not talk much on these issues as well.
Right. All right. So, but let's look at what is happening right now. For those who want to lift cargo from any of these eastern ports, give us an idea of what the circumstances are right now, even before we talk about reviewing it. What does it look like if I'm to lift cargo from One or perhaps the Rivers Port or even Calabar or Warri right now? For those who are in the shipment of goods, what does it look like right now?
Listen, Victor, did you hear what Frank said? We have no objections to increment, but it's all about having the stakeholders involved in the negotiations so that there could be some reasonable review. We know how the situation is. In the eastern ports, they have no choice but to lift their cargo, as it were. Otherwise, it continues to accumulate in hemorrhages, and that's killing. But the point is, Frank just told you that there are consultations going on over there right now, and if the Shippers Council will be up to its task, there will be probably a downward review. But as of now, cargo must go. They must leave the ports. Otherwise, they pay more. Until the review is done, the demurrage cost will wipe out the gains. So there's movement going on.
Right. Now, for those who are listening to us, they might just be wondering, okay, you guys are talking about review, haulage costs and all of that. How does it affect the common man? Can you just break it down for us? Or what impact would that make for the common man?
Well, the average businessman have to do a cost reconciliation before attaching price to your product. So when the cost is too much, definitely there's going to be increment in the price. And when you're talking about inflation, those are the things that bring about inflations. For instance, from One to what they call it, One to Onitsha used to be 650. It now is about 1.2 million naira. So what does that mean? That means I have to increase the cost of bringing my goods to this country as well. And this does not only affect import, it affects export. Because you're still going through based on people, either both import and export. And this obviously is going to affect the trade facilitations. When we are talking about trade facilitations, we have to consider logistics, which is going to be affected by this. So there are a lot of things. If you look at even the standard of the vehicle in the country as well, these are recated vehicles because the cost of procuring these vehicles, they are too expensive. Right. So how do you want the standard of living to improve in this country? Right. So there are a lot of things has to be considered. And what we are talking that we do not want that continue to be an impediment to the ease of doing business.
Okay, so ease of business will be affected. Prices of goods will rise if these prices are allowed to stay. That's what you are saying now.
Obviously, that's the truth.
Right. So, from your perspective, so what would be an acceptable price? What would be the review that would be acceptable? Or do you even agree that it should be increased in the first place? Bath, let me get to you. Do you guys agree that it should be increased?
Well, we sometimes you have to be realistic. The last review was in 2022.
Right.
All right. Now we all know the circumstances in which the economy is running now. There's no way there wouldn't be an increase. It's possible not to. But what we are saying, we are going back to what we said as an issue. We are not saying that there shouldn't be an increment. What we're saying is there has to be some human face to it, because you can't be dictatorial all the time. You have to consult those who are involved, and because of the economic impact, that has to be a sine qua non before such things are carried out. Consult the stakeholders. Make sure that they are carried along so that it doesn't boomerang and cause more havoc to the economy.
All right. So, but if I understand you, so if I understand you purely and clearly now, it means that you guys, especially from NAGAF, you're not really against the increment, but rather you would have preferred a wider consultation. Is that it?
That is it.
So the 140% doesn't really matter because you agree that prevailing economic circumstances makes it imperative for it to be increased. Is that what you're saying now?
What you're saying is I just engage the stakeholders. Just engage the stakeholders so that it doesn't have
a negative,
a wider negative effect on everybody.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So from Aflon's perspective, Frank, do you agree with the 140%?
Definitely no. And I'm sure BAT is not agreeing, NAGAF is not agreeing 140%. If the inflation rate is 29%, how can you do 140%? What is the per capita income of the individual in this country? So those are things we have to look at. I'm sure NAGAF will never agree on 140%, and nobody in the trust will do that as well. The inflation is 29%. How do you do 140%? So the per capita income of the people, what is the percentage of per capita income of the people of this country?
Right. Now, if you look at the Bureau of Statistics, they bring out these inflation figures based on each sector of the economy. So, inflation for the economy might be 29. Food inflation is 37. We have other, inflation figures out there. But if this is as a result of prevailing situations like we've enumerated earlier on, diesel, which has skyrocketed between 2022 and now, forex, which is not the same as well, operational costs and the likes, maybe those are reasons why it has accumulated to that figure. But I even hear that it's not a blanket figure of 140. It depends on the area that you are transporting these goods to, and of course the ports that you are picking it from. But we're going to take a short break right now. When we return, we'll drop much more on this, even as we reflect on upward review of haulage rates and matters arising for shipment of cargo from eastern ports. A brief break, we'll be back.
The Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline 0818-888-8895. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos. Or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Maritime Today is the program, and we're looking at upward review in haulage rates and matters arising for shipment of cargo. You can also join the conversation as well, 08099-120-777 and 09153-877127. I think we have a caller already on the line. Hello there, good morning.
My name is God bless you.
Yeah, what's the name? Who are we speaking with?
My name is Reverend Anthony Eke.
I didn't get it. What's the name?
I'm Reverend Anthony Eke.
Okay, Anselm Eke. All right. Where are you calling from?
Yeah. I'm calling from Man.
All right. You want to add your voice to the conversation as well?
Yeah, I want to thank my president, Otumba Frank Gudemite, for coming on this program.
All right.
Taking the minds of the whole Afronian.
Okay.
The increment is unprecedented. The increment, even having gone with the present trend of state, could have come down by now because things are also coming down.
All right.
Yeah, that is just the appeal we have to make through this program.
Okay, so
since the cost of diesel is coming down, and the exchange rate is coming down. It is just suppose that with the present cost of college rate, it is against the orders.
All right. So you're appealing to the council to review it downwards, right?
Of course, it must come downwards.
Okay, then.
And that is the aim of the president. I think to come down so that there will be ease of doing business in the free world. So this will just help us and bring it down, because things are also coming down. The exchange rate is coming down, diesel is coming down. So why is the rate of haulage still static at that amount, at that rate?
Okay. All right. We've heard from you so that we can allow other people to make their contributions. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you. 08099120777. Bath, I can see that some of your colleagues are also expressing themselves to say, well, it has to come down. But I've also spoken with some other stakeholders as well, Bath, and I mean, some of them feel that the council had made the right decision considering what is happening out there. What would you say to that?
But, Victor,
Yes.
it is not. We keep saying the same thing all over again. We are not against the increment. We all know what is going on. Things will get better. We know that. Just like the last caller just told you. Okay, things will get better. Like diesel prices are coming down. Infrastructure deficit might be reduced. You know. But what we keep saying, I'll keep hiring is, let the first things be done before such increments are done. Nobody's against people doing business and making money.
Right.
I said initially that if you put yourself in their shoes, you have no option than to have this increment, because you must make money. You must make profit. There must be a margin for which you can operate. Okay?
Right.
What you are saying is, let it be a little bit negotiated so that it be a win-win situation.
Okay, so let me just say this. The council operates an open door policy. The current executive secretary, that's Akuta Pius, has always been very open. So I want to find out from Ogumi Jamite, have you expressed yourself to the council on this?
Of course. He got in touch through the Dr. Ago with me, and then we spoke on this issue, and at first sent a message to him, like we do. You understand? So he is operating an open door policy. It's not so peculiar. It's the same thing like from Azambelo. Council has been playing a very good role in maritime, to be honest with you. But what we are saying, you know the mindset of everybody in this country. It's very easy for things to get increased. It's difficult to come down. So if obviously we are not stand up on this issue, we will not be exploited. It become exploitations. That's not an increment. So that's what we are trying to guard against. If you look at the IMF report about Nigeria's maritimes, Nigeria is a lot of these things was identified. So we are trying to make in Nigeria a committee of maritime nation as well. We are talking about Africa Free Trade Agreement. We are talking about West Africa ETS, LS. So what are the things to be considered? The cost of bringing things in and out of this country should be factored into consideration as well. So what we are saying, we need a total engagement, not only on these issues, of some other issues. Right. That's why we are advocating for the council to have a legal power, so they can be able to sanction some issues which people are adamant.
All right, and I can tell you that is being worked on right now.
And the only issue should be little of less the concern of the council, if I may say it.
All right. So in all of this, you are going to be engaging with the council to also talk about this for a downward review.
That's fantastic. In fact, the engagement is going on in Easter part. We'll be having an engagement with other associations together, and I was talking about even yesterday, like I told you. So they should open their door very well as well, so they can listen to the people in the industry. And the EX should be able to review the report that comes to his table. Because let me tell you something, people will talk about the leadership, not the followers about the leaderships.
All right.
So he should try to make a good legacy of himself.
All right, let's begin to take this home now. Hello there. Bart, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So as we round off the program now, what's your message in 30 seconds?
The message to
to Nigerians who are listening to you, your shippers, the shipping community, the freight forwarding community, what's the message?
Just patience. Just patience. We have been enduring. And just as my fellow discussant, President Frank, has just said, we really don't have much objections to some policies. It's just that we need to be carried along. Nigerians, we have been so patient. So many things have been, the cats have been drawn before the horse. So many things have been happening, which is unusual. Yet, we have been patient.
Okay, so patience.
We know that with time, things will get better.
All right.
That's the message.
Okay, then we'll leave it at that for now. Thank you so much for joining the conversation this morning. Frank, 30 seconds.
Thank you for giving that chance. Well, what I would like I said, I would like to appeal to the EX and to everybody, all the government agencies in maritime, that the country belongs to us, the production belongs to us. There is so many leadership that comes in the different council and go. Please try to make sure you create a better legacy that when you leave, we'll be talking about you. We are not fighting for ourselves. We start fighting for the country, for everyone in the industry.
All right.
Thank you.
And I can tell you that the Executive Secretary is very, very much willing to engage with all the stakeholders as it relates to this. And even on the program on Saturday, definitely we'll be having a regulatory perspective on these haulage rates as well. But let me thank both of you, gentlemen, for making it through to the program. Frank Ubu Jemite, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And to Bath Okeke, I want to appreciate it too. Thank you. All right, then. So that's how far we'll go on the program, Maritime Today. It has been produced by Dio Anthony. I say a big thank you to Rebecca Adamu, Assistant Director of Public Relations for the Nigerian Shippers Council, the Executive Secretary himself, talking about Barrister Pius Akuta for making this conversation possible. It makes a return on Saturday, but you can connect with the Shippers Council on all their platforms at NG Shippers, NG Shippers. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a splendid morning. Bye.
Don't you think it is better to get the updates fast and undiluted from a trusted and reliable source than to hear it from just any other station? Get the authentic traffic report from Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, moving Lagos forward.
Your home for timely, reliable, accurate, dynamic, innovative, and objective traffic reports. That's why we are your team radio on 96.1 FM. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Moving Lagos forward.
Without the roads, there won't be vehicles. Without the roads, there won't be the streetlights. Without the roads, there won't be the need for traffic lights. Without the roads, there won't be any need for the LASMA officials. Without you, there won't be the roads. Without you, there won't be us. Therefore, observe the rules of driving. A message from Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, moving Lagos forward.
It's 10 a.m. This time is brought to you by Rwand Air. For booking and reservation, please call 0127999018 or visit our website www.rwandair.com.
News from Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, moving Lagos forward.
First, the highlights. Governor Sanwo-Olu felicitates Muslims on Eid al-Fitr celebration. Presidency-backed CBN Governor Yemi Cardoso vows to clamp down on dollar racketeers. On the foreign scene, Australia hints on recognizing Palestinian state amid Israel-Gaza war. And in sport minister salutes Super Falcons for securing Olympics ticket. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has rejoiced with Nigerians and residents of the state, particularly Muslim faithful, as they celebrate this year's Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of a month-long spiritual renewal after fasting, prayers and other spiritual activities. Governor Sanwo-Olu, in a Eid al-Fitr message issued by his special advisor, media and publicity, Benga Akoshile, enjoined Muslims to continue on the path of spirituality, peaceful coexistence, and to remain tolerant of other religious denominations in the state, saying that Lagos is noted for religious harmony. The governor also assured Lagos residents that the economic challenges that they are currently facing will soon be over because of the several intervention programs by the state and the federal government. As Nigerian Muslims celebrate the Eid al-Fitr with their counterparts across the world, Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, says he joins other faithfuls in their steadfast belief that Almighty Allah will listen to their supplications and meet their needs at this time. Obasa's prayer came in his congratulatory message to Muslims for having the divine privilege from Allah to partake in the Ramadan. According to Obasa, in a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Eromosele Ebomele, the Eid al-Fitr is not just a time to eat and be merry, but a day dedicated to thanksgiving to God for the strength and passion He has given and the Muslim faithful. Obasa urged the citizens to mark the festival rededicating their lives to God and doubling their patriotism to the country for national prosperity. Chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC in Lagos State, Cornelius Ajalabi, has urged Muslims across the state and the country to let the faith that they exhibited and practiced during Ramadan fast be sustained beyond the holy month. Ajalabi rejoiced with Muslims on their completion of the annual 30 days of fasting and prayers in the month of Ramadan and advised them not to go back to the bad behaviors that they have endured in the month. In a statement in Lagos, the APC chairman called for continued prayers for Lagos State under Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Nigeria under President Bola Tinubu for God's divine interventions, mercies and blessings. Jalabi enjoined Muslims to, in their private and public capacities, live by the pious tenets and norms of Islam that they have imbibed in Ramadan. He appealed to parents and guardians to continue to uphold and discharge their God-given responsibilities to their children and wards. And the Lagos City Environmental Sanitation Corps, LAGEST, has encouraged residents to embrace proper environmental practices and obey the state's environmental laws ahead of the Eid al-Fitr festivities, which usually marks the end of the Ramadan fast by Muslim faithfuls around the world. Corps Marshal of the agency, Olani Cole, made the call at the agency's command headquarters at Bolade Oshodi. Cole also admonished Lagosians to make proper use of pedestrian bridges for their safety instead of crossing highways to prevent hit-and-run incidents by speeding motorists. In the same vein, he read the Riot Act to miscreants in the habit of converting pedestrian bridges, pledging that anyone caught would be made to face the law. Now to the rest of the stories. The presidency has announced that the concerted efforts of the Yemi Cardoso-led Central Bank of Nigeria aimed at stabilizing the Naira aligns with President Bola Tinubu's multifaceted approach to ridding the nation's foreign exchange market of malign actors and sharp practices. It also vowed to continue its campaign against racketeers, urging Nigerians to expect a stronger Naira that would reflect a significant drop in the prices of essential commodities by the first quarter of 2025. Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, who said this, spoke against the backdrop of the recent series of measures rolled out by the central bank to halt the naira free fall and return the local currency to its fair value. The CBN had rolled out several circulars and directives leading to the rebound of the local currency from 1,900 naira per dollar recorded in late February to nearly 1,200 per dollar at the parallel market. According to analysts, the CBN's recent policies have played a pivotal role in the strengthening of the naira against the dollar. The presidency also vowed to sustain the momentum, saying regulatory agencies would go after racketeers and malign actors bent on frustrating the efforts of the government. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has secured the conviction of 23 illegal bureau de change operators and naira racketeers within the last month, as the commission arrested and arraigned 174 similar offences. The EFCC Special Task Force also arrested 116 illegal BDC operators, currency racketeers in Enugu State during a massive clampdown. EFCC Chairman Ola Olukoyede said the arrests and convictions were a testament to the hard work of the Commission. Olukoyede noted that the EFCC has secured 23 convictions for the offence of currency racketeering and operation of illegal BDCs with the Special Task Force in less than a month, lends evidence to hard work and dedication. He added that 11 of the convictions were recorded in Kano alone, 3 in Ilori, 5 in Lagos, 1 in Port Harcourt, and 3 in Kaduna State. Now to foreign news. Australia's Foreign Minister Penny Wong has suggested the country could recognize Palestinian statehood to increase momentum towards peace, but said Hamas could have no role in its governance. Wong's comments echo a speech by UK Foreign Secretary David Cameron earlier this year, in which he hinted the UK too could recognize Palestinian statehood without the support of Israel. The Australian government has in recent months increasingly voiced concerns about the war against Hamas in Gaza, including after an Australian aid worker was killed alongside 6 others in an Israeli airstrike. The aid workers were traveling in a convoy after picking up supplies from the IDF, when the IDF says they were wrongly identified as Hamas operatives and targeted. About 140 countries recognize Palestinian statehood, but many, including the US, the UK, Germany, and Australia, do not. Our Sports Minister of Sports Development, John Eno, has saluted the Super Falcons of Nigeria for qualifying for the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris after edging South Africa over 2 legs. The minister commended the players for their bold, energetic and tireless performance that earned them a goalless draw in Pretoria and a 1-0 win over 2 legs following the win in Abuja last week. With this result, Nigeria broke the 16-year jinx of absence from the Olympics since 2008, securing qualification against their rivals. Edmore expressed immense pride in the Super Falcons' achievement, highlighting the performance deserved nothing short of the ticket to Paris. He extended his felicitations to the coaching staff, players, and all Nigerians, stating it is a win for the country. Eno added that all hands must be on deck as they prepare to represent Nigeria with pride and determination at the Paris 2024 Olympics. And that ends our news at 10. Just before we go, your vehicle is not a strong room. Please keep your valuables off the view of miscreants. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X Traffic Radio 961, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website at trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration organized a forum for women across the 57 local government and local council development areas in the state with a view to enhancing their productivity and economic growth? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has rejoiced with Nigerians and residents of the state, particularly Muslim faithful, as they celebrate this year's Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of a month-long spiritual renewal after fasting, prayers, and other spiritual activities. The presidency has announced that the considered efforts of the Yemi Cardoso-led Central Bank of Nigeria aimed at stabilizing the Naira aligns with President Bola Tinubu's multifaceted approach to ridding the country's foreign exchange market of malign actors and sharp practices. We also told you that Australia's Foreign Minister Penny Wong has suggested the country could recognize Palestinian statehood to increase momentum towards peace, but said Hamas could have no role in its governance. And its Sport Minister of Sports Development, John Eno, has saluted the Super Falcons of Nigeria for qualifying for the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris after riding South Africa over 2 legs. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That is the news broadcast compiled by Zainab Adebashi. I am Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.
Gets you locked down all day, all time with that traffic report, just as and when you want it, with great music and lots more. Lagos Traffic Radio, your driving companion.
New year, new horizons. Let the adventure begin with Rwandair. Fly 5 times weekly from Lagos to Kigali and connect to 25 destinations across Africa, Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. Experience world-class service, comfort, convenience, and reliability. Book now. Call 01-279-9018 or contact your preferred travel agents.
Rwandair. Fly the dream of Africa.
In a move to boost the economy and tackle rising living costs, the government has removed the controversial subsidy. As a result, transportation expenses have soared and the cost of living has become a burden for many. Introducing compressed natural gas, or CNG, a game changer. It's safe, eco-friendly, and cost-effective, burning clean and extending your driving range. Head over to certified conversion centers in Lagos, Ogun, Abuja, Kaduna, and Rivers to switch your vehicle to CNG and start enjoying cheaper fuel for a better life. For more details on the PCNGI initiative, send us an email at info@pci.gov.ng or call at 0700-0000-264. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram by searching for @PCNG Initiative. Join the CNG revolution today for a brighter and more affordable future.
CNG, cheaper fuel for better living.
Without the roads, there won't be vehicles. Without the roads, there won't be the streetlights. Without the roads, there won't be the need for traffic lights. Without the roads, there won't be any need for the LASMA officials. Without you, there won't be the roads. Without you, there won't be us. Therefore, observe the rules of driving. A message from Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, moving Lagos forward.